Tanchayan Srisuwan. He'll be greeted in a moment by the tattoo's producer and the officer of the watch, and he's accompanied in the car tonight by the Governor of Edinburgh Castle, Major General Mike Riddle-Webster.
Webster!
And General Srisuwan will be given a salute by the Guard of Honour.
Guard of Honour! General salute! Treason! Power!
Ooh.
So, power!
Now the General will be introduced to tonight's Lone Piper, Corporal Joe Davies, the Royal Highland Fusiliers, the 2nd Battalion of the Royal Regiment of Scotland, who will give our guest of honour a greeting in Scottish Gaelic and a toast in good Scotch whisky.
Hier wil een foutelijke vullen. Gevallige agent, others to Nuna Castle. Mauren lachen sonnegai verschie. Slange dan van Bree, slange hier vullen.
The toast is 100,000 welcomes to you all to the city of Edinburgh and to the castle. A long, happy life and peace to you all. Health to the Queen. Health to you all. The toast is drunk in Glenkinchie whisky from a traditional Scottish quaich. It's a shallow drinking cup with lugs instead of handles, and you may have noticed they kiss the bottoms of their quaichs. That's just an old Scottish custom to show that every last drop of whisky has been drunk. Now, guarded by the Edinburgh High Constables, our distinguished guest of honour tonight, General Tanchayan, I beg your pardon, Srisuwan, is Thailand's Chief of Defence Forces, and he'll be taking the salute later. General Srisuwan commanded the 1st Cavalry Battalion of the King's Guard of the Royal Thai Armed Forces, and in 2012 was appointed Director of Joint Operations. He served as an Aide-Corps General to the Monarch, as a military judge in the Bangkok Military Court, and as a member of the National Legislative Assembly. And before his present appointment, he served as Chief of the Joint Staff. And we are delighted to wish our distinguished guest of honour a very warm welcome. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let's come back to Europe and see who is here tonight from Scandinavia. Anybody from Norway, Denmark, Sweden and Finland? Excellent, welcome to you, delighted to have you with us. Now, we've got a wonderful band and dancers from the Czech Republic. So who's here from the Czech Republic to cheer them on? Now, who's here tonight from Switzerland? Welcome to the Swiss, and from Germany and Austria. Welcome to you. Ich wünsche Ihnen einen schönen Abend.
Danke!
Now we've got buglers from Belgium tonight. So who's here from Belgium tonight? Welcome, and from your neighbours in the Netherlands, a little Luxembourg. Welcome to you. And from France tonight. Bon, je vous souhaite de passer une bonne soirée. And from over the Pyrenees in Spain and Portugal. Welcome, and from Greece and sunny Italy. Now we've whizzed around the globe, so let's come back home to our own wee corner of the world and see who's here tonight from Ireland, north and south. Great, glad to have the Irish with us, and from the hills and valleys of Wales tonight. Welcome to you. Now, let's go south of the border and see who is here tonight from England. That was a formidable cheer, but I'm sure I could detect the edge of a challenge in that. So let's see who's here tonight from Scotland. spirited response. Ladies and gentlemen, there are an awful lot of places I haven't mentioned. I do apologise to anybody whose home country I missed. It wasn't deliberate, but you're all very welcome to our tattoo tonight, and we hope you will all feel entertained and inspired by what you see, which is very different every single year. Now, if you've ever wondered where that curious term tattoo comes from, I can tell you it's got nothing to do with the art of Polynesian body markings and those colourful designs which soldiers often sport. It's really a corruption of an old Dutch phrase, do den tap to, or turn off the taps. The practice started during the first Duke of Marlborough's triumphant campaigns against Louis XIV's French army in the Low Countries in the 18th century, when drummers used to march through the garrison towns, signaling the innkeepers to turn off the beer taps and send the soldiers back to their tents or their quarters in private houses, where the reluctant residents were often forced to billet them. The soldier then had 30 minutes to get back to his tender's billet, where the roll was called and lights and fires were extinguished. And then as barracks began to be constructed to answer the complaints of the put-upon citizens, life for a soldier became more relaxed, the roll was no longer called a tattoo, and it lost any meaning as part of the daily routine. The ceremony almost died out, but the name had been used for military displays as far back as 1742, and it became the popular term for the displays which grew up in the early years of the 20th century and which continue to grow in popularity in this century. Man has always dreamed from the time when he first scratched a living from the earth. One of those dreams was to fly like the birds and to reach new heights. As the pilot and poet John Gillespie Magee wrote so joyfully,
"Oh, I have slipped the surly bonds of earth and danced the skies on laughter-silvered wings. Sunward I've climbed and joined the tumbling mirth of sun-split clouds, and done 100 things you have not dreamed of, wheeled and soared and swung high in the sunlit silence. Hovering there, I've chased the shouting wind along and flung my eager craft through footless halls of air. Up the long, delirious burning blue, I've topped the wind-swept heights with easy grace, where never lark or even eagle flew. And while with silent lifting mind, I've trod the high, untrespassed sanctity of space, put out my hand and touched the face of God."